Hello hunters, my name is Deus and today I have something a bit special for you. This is gonna be my hunting on progression guide for Iceborne. What it means is that in this video I will show you all the good mix sets, charms and also weapons to get you through the Iceborne story smoothly. Before we start, I would like to quickly mention a very useful guide that you should be reading. This album was made by User Echoes Part 1 and it's about insect glaive metasets as well as progression sets. If you're looking for those, make sure to check them out. It was extremely useful as I was making this video. Alright, if you're ready, I think we can jump right in. Okay, so you are in high rank and also wondering what you should be using before jumping into Iceborne. Well, it's gonna depend on what's available to you. If you play through the world content enough, you should have a good dragon mix set and also Empress Raw Blaze. Empress Raw Blaze is the best hunting gun to start with. It comes with built-in guts and 20% affinity, which is very useful as you progress through Iceborne. If you don't have any of those, I recommend going with full defender gear and defender horn. It's very easy to craft and should get you through long enough before you can get better options. Regarding the charm, I definitely recommend you to get the Exploiter charm to level 2. This charm gives you Weakness Exploit, which is one of the best skills to get affinity. It's a very easy charm to make, all things considered, and you will need some Teostra part. It's definitely worthwhile and will be used in most of our mix sets. So this is our first set for the early part of mastering. You will need 3 pieces of the cool Yaku armor, Hornetor waist, and the clockwork legs. What's great here is that it's a very easy set to craft from the get-go. For the clockwork legs, you will need to get Steam tickets from the Steamworks. This becomes available to you after you take care of Bombarrow. What's great here about this set is that we get Weakness Exploit and Crit Boost from the armor and the charm. From there we can use our deco slots to stack more affinity, get in health boost for surviving attacks, and Sonorous Jewels to increase the duration of our buffs thanks to Horn Maestro level 2. For Sonorous or health boost decos, if you do not have them, you can meld them at the Elder Melder. In this game, the best way to increase your damage is to stack more affinity and also increase the damage of your critical attacks. This is where the main part of your damage comes in and also why our sets will focus on these 2 specific aspects of the game. For the mid part of the master rank progression, we have this mix set. It gets available to you as soon as you reach master rank 4. It is pretty similar to what we used before. The main chances are that we're gonna be using the Azure Rathalos head and the regular Rathalos chest. As you can see here, we get access to Crit Boost and Weakness Exploit from the armor alone, but that's gonna be redundant if we use the Exploiter charm because it also gives us Weakness Exploit. So what we're gonna do is use one of the best charms we have access to at this point in time, which is the Razor Sharp charm. The Razor Sharp charm makes it so 50% of the time, your attacks will not consume sharpness. It is extremely important because in this game, and in many of the Monster Hunter games, sharpness is a core mechanic for Blade Masters. Typically, the best sets will revolve around stopping sharpness loss or diminishing it as much as we can. For now, we cannot stop it effectively, so we're gonna be focusing on how to decrease our sharpness loss as much as possible, and this is why the charm is needed. In order to get it, you will need to be completing some of the quests from your housekeeper. After taking care of the second quest, you will then unlock the Razor Sharp charm. It's definitely worthwhile until you get better options, so I would recommend getting that. With decorations, this is how our mix set is going to look like. The goal here is, as usual, to stack affinity, and we still have health boost and All Maestro. Once you reach Master Rank 5, you will get access to Teostra. The reason this is so great is because 3 pieces of the Teostra armor set gives us Master's Touch. Master's Touch makes it so we do not lose sharpness if we land a critical hit. I think you can see why this is extremely vital for us now. It is one of the best ways to mitigate the sharpness loss, and we can finally work on it. For this set, you will need 3 pieces of the Teostra armor, specifically the head, the chest, and the waist. For the arm, we will be using the Shara Ishvalda ones for the free crit boost they give, and the legs are still gonna be the Clockwork Greaves. In order to get Weakness Exploit, we will be needing the Exploiter Charm level 2 and 1 Tenderizer decoration. And this is how it's gonna be looking like after you add some decorations in. Now, this set is great for the early endgame part of Master Rank, and it's gonna be relevant until you get better stuff. What I would like to point out though is that if you are willing to do it, there is a way to make a mix set that's even better than this, and it will involve Master Rank Kulv Taroth. If we take a look at Master Rank Kulv Taroth's armor set, the legs are amazing. 2 level of crit boost and a good amount of slots. This is what you'll be using for a better mix set. Master Rank Kulv Taroth can be fought at Master Rank 24. It's pretty early, and if you find a group or you're able to do it, you can get your hands on a very good piece of equipment early. What you can then do is work on a mix set like this one. This time around, we use the Teostra head, arms and waist, the Kirin chest, and the Kulv Taroth legs. This is probably my favorite mix set. It gives you a lot of good skills, and you don't really need a lot of decorations to make it work. For critical boost, you only need 1 critical deco to max the skill. Weakness Exploit, you can use the Charm and the Vambraces to reach the full amount of points needed for the skill. And when it comes to Critical Eye, you get 5 points from the armor set alone. What you can then do is use your free Expert Plus that you get from the story, and voila, you have Critical Eye 7. From there, you have a bunch of slots that you can play with to add whatever you want. Usually it's gonna be health boost and sonorous decorations. When looking at the hunting horns available to you for the story progression, we will mainly focus on the attack boosting horns. They are by far the best and provide an amazing buff for yourself and your party. Overall, it's gonna make your experience a lot better, and I highly recommend that you do start with one of these. As you progress through the Iceborne story, 2 paths will be available to you, the Iron Ore Tree and the Bone Tree. Iron has better sharpness, while Bone has better raw damage. If you're starting out without good decorations, I would recommend the Iron Tree, mainly because of the sharpness. Bone is good, but you'll be needing handicraft to reach white sharpness, and that's pretty hard to get when you don't really have much in terms of decorations. The Iron Hunting Horn comes with 2 level 1 slots that you can use for Horn Maestro decos. It also has a non-awakened status, so what you can do with this, if you have the decoration for it, is slot in non-elemental boost to get more damage out of your hunting horn. Outside of the Iron and Bone trees, one very interesting hunting horn that you could be using for the story is the Dodogama hunting horn. It's a very easy to craft horn, not much is needed for it, and it comes with Blast. Blast is a status that whenever it procs, deals a fixed amount of damage to the monster, 300 in general. This is very good as you get through the story when you don't exactly have the best gear and the best damage potential. The Blast is gonna be good at chipping away at the monster's HP, and it's a good option to use should you want to go for that in the story. The final boss of the story for Iceborne is also very weak to Blast. I would definitely recommend you to grab this horn specifically for that fight, and you could use it for your progression while you are at it. It also comes with 3 slots that you can use to fit in more skills. This time around the status is Awakened, so we cannot use non-elemental boost here. If you progress far enough in the story, you can get access to the Velkhana hunting horn. It is a pretty solid horn for that part of the game and can still be relevant in endgame as well. All of these are amazing, but there is one hunting horn that's the highlight for endgame. it's gonna be the Demon Lord War Drum, aka the Furious Rajang hunting horn. Now, the reason why it's so great is because it has a lot of positives. It comes with good roll, 15% innate affinity, and purple sharpness. A lot of it actually. Until you get your hands on the Safi and Kulv weapons, this is gonna be your best option. In order to unlock Furious Rajang, you will need to complete a list of special assignments, and you can see them right now on your screen. As soon as you have taken care of the Stygian's inaugural assignment, you get access to this monster right away. It's a pretty tough fight, but since you only have to worry about the hunting horn, it is not so bad. The weapons from Furious Rajang, and also Raging Brachydios, come right away fully maxed out, so you won't need more materials to upgrade them. You only need to craft them and you're good to go. And that's pretty much it for the armor pieces and the weapons. Now it's time to give you some tips to help you go through the story. As soon as you reach Seliana, I would recommend going in Master Rank expeditions to start gathering. You mainly want to focus on the bone piles and the mining outcrops. You will get some material that are needed for your weapon, but also for the armor pieces that you will be using in the early part of the story. Another thing that's very useful in the Iceborne story progression is to use the Impact Echo Waves. Impact Echo Wave is a song that deals KO and damage. The main thing that's very interesting about the Impact Echo Wave is that it's not related to your sharpness, which means that the damage doesn't decrease if you drop sharpness. It only cares about your raw damage. That is very good when you progress to the story, when you don't even have good ways to stop losing sharpness. Make sure to use them when you find the right opportunities, for example, after a flame shot or a KO, or when the monster is toppled. And my last tip will be about the Guiding Lands. The Guiding Lands is an area that you spend a lot of time in your early part of the endgame. Monsters in the Guiding Lands drop unique materials that you will need to augment your weapon. If you equip the skill Geologist level 1, you will be able to gather twice from the materials dropped by the monsters in the Guiding Lands. It is a very nifty trick that's gonna be useful for farming, and definitely make sure that Geologist at least level 1 is in your set. You really don't need more than that, and it should be very easy to fit considering the amount of slots we have in our mix sets. And that's gonna be the end for today's video. I did not exactly cover the Guiding Land in full detail, but in the description below you will find multiple links to useful resources, mainly a guide that shows you what kind of materials you need for charms and augments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you're looking forward to more content like this, definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel. I will see you again for another video, another time. Happy hunting!